Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. We're going to be starting the chapter 8 opener right now, and that's what this video is going to be. But I did want to start off and say that um, I didn't realize it until it was too late that the cultures section on chapter 7 test on Catalonia, I had written that, had that all prepared, and I guess I did not hit save properly when I was editing that, and it just wasn't there on the test. I mean, I didn't even realize it, but it was 3 or 4 questions. They were good questions. My plan is to push that back into this chapter. We can revisit that lesson we can go back, maybe not go all the way through it exactly like we did last time, but we can kind of go back and kind of touch on that and then incorporate that into the chapter 8 test. That was my mistake, but I think we can handle that. But now we're pushing ahead to chapter 8, La Comida. So let me go ahead and do the chapter opener right here in this video. And I think this is hopefully going to help get us going. La comida, food, is the theme. And if you look, you can see that, oh, there we go. The contextos, food descriptions, and meals. Now the word for food is comida, but the word for meals are also las comidas. I don't know if you knew that or not, but las comidas are the meals. So it's kind of a, that's how you say that. So we will be looking at food. We tend to be pretty good at a lot of this. We know a lot of these, and I kind of enjoy this chapter because I like talking about food. The fotonovela, we'll look at that. Now, guys, the culture, we already talked about culture, and we will redo that Catalonia and push it forward to this chapter due to that my editing error on the test. But there is a Flash Cultura video that I really like. It's food from Latin American food choices. I think the Flash Cultura is shot in Los Angeles, I believe. It's kind of a fun video. I think it's cool. Now this is the green, the blue is the estructura. This is the bit that really gives us kind of the meat and potatoes of our test, doesn't it? It gives us the grammar points. So if you can see that, we have there's really three grammar sections. It's listed as 4, but I tend to look at comparisons and superlatives together. So let me just quickly touch on those. Preterite of stem changing verbs. Now, 2 chapters ago chapter 6 we did preterite, regular preterite. Oops, sorry. And then this last chapter we did some preterite of ser and ir, which is a small sort of a wrinkle on the irregular. Now we have like a stem change, a preterite stem change that we're going to look at. It's actually pretty narrow. I know in the present tense we have boot verbs, the stem change. There's a lot of verbs that fit in that category. This stem change in the preterite we're going to deal with in this chapter is a lot more narrow, not as many verbs, so it's going to be more simple. The double object pronouns, it can be a very kind of fiddly and sort of sticky topic, but I'm gonna do it. Trust me when I tell you, I'm gonna do it in a way it's gonna be good for us. And just trust me on that. I'll show it to you right now. On the face of it, it can look very confusing, and it actually can be confusing, but I'm gonna keep it simple for you. You'll see. And then finally, comparisons and superlatives. We're just gonna treat those kind of under the same category, but obviously they are a little bit different. Like comparisons basically will be like comparisons of inequality, and then comparisons of equality, and then superlatives. So comparisons of inequality would be like, I am taller than Susan. I'm taller than my sister Susan. That's a comparison of inequality. Now, a comparison of equality would be, I am as tall as my brother John. So see, those are different types of comparisons. Obviously, we're doing those in Spanish. And then a superlative would be like, I am the tallest person in my family. Or Charlotte is the biggest city in North Carolina. Or JoJo is the most likely to succeed, right? Superlatives like in high school. Pretty simple. These are pretty basic. There's a couple of little bits. The comparisons of equality can be a little more tricky, but it's nothing that we can't handle. And then finally, these green stuff down here, just other opportunities to do things like reading, writing. We'll touch on some of these things. I like the panorama on a few of our chapters. The Flash Cultura, I like. And then we're going to move forward now. So let's take a quick look at the grammar. Excuse me, here's all the food vocabulary. It's pretty good. It's great. I mean, we're gonna know a ton of these. A few of these that maybe might give me a bit of trouble is refresco is a soft drink. Look at the word for peas, arvejas. Now I know in Spain they say guisantes, but the book here it says arvejas. So I suspect they say that. Whoops, sorry, I need to turn so you can see it. Yeah, see the peas right there, arvejas. I think that's in Mexico, I think that's what they say. Another word that can be tricky, melocoton. That's peach. In Spain, they say melocoton. I think in Mexico, they say durazno. But we're going to go with what's in the book. A lot of cognates look sandwich, yogur, margarina. So that's nice. Mayonesa, vinagre, delicioso. So got a lot of good cognates. One thing that's interesting is that saber is to taste like. So we know saber means to know information, remember? But it's also to taste like. So sabe a pollo. So anyway, that's all. Just looking at a few of these, jumping over. There's some more all the different meats. Yeah, we'll talk about foods that we like, foods that we don't like. We'll kind of recycle gustar. We'll use gustar to talk about foods that we like. Here are the different meals, or las comidas. Mira, el desayuno típico, un desayuno típico. Un almuerzo típico, hamburguesa, papas fritas, pan, té helado. And like on the desayuno típico, mira, huevo, salchicha, jugo de naranja, pan tostado, y mantequilla. It's butter. That's a tricky word, isn't it? Mantequilla. And then down here, una cena. Mira, bistec, espárragos, arroz, vino tinto, red wine. So look at there. Anyway, so I'm just gonna kind of push through. I know this is already into 7 minutes. I'm gonna try to get to the good part. So let's jump ahead. We'll use a lot of these drills. Here's the fotonovela, una cena romántica. Oh, can't miss that. Now we know, I like these as corny as they are, but we'll look at that. It's kind of funny. And this is frutas y verduras de América. This is a pretty good. We might do a reading. This is the bit I was telling you about. Basically, the stem change in the preterite is this. Basically, any verb that's in the present tense as an IR boot verb sees a stem change in the preterite in the third person singular and third person plural. So that's it. So in other words, in present tense IR boot verbs like servir or dormir, on the third person singular and plural, it gets a simple stem change. Like, so in other words, he slept. It's not dormió, it's durmió. She served the drink. It's not servió, it's sirvió la bebida. So that's it. That's really it. And it's as simple as that. So we'll use this, we'll practice this, but we're really just going to practice more preterite. And it's going to be good because preterite can be complicated. We're going to use this chapter just to keep practicing preterite and get good at it. And you guys can trust me. I'm always trying to keep this thing simple for you. Okay, so, oh boy. Sorry, Senor Fran got off the rails here. Let's see if I can get back. There we go. Yeah, so there we go. So I have to kind of go over to, that's what I'm going to do. Now guys, this is the grammar point of the double object pronouns. Look, the double object pronouns on the face of it can be quite tricky looking. Here's what you need to remember. In Spanish, is very much in a way like in English. Like what if I said, Susan had my book in slang. She gave it to me. See what I said? Susan had my book in slang. She gave it to me. She gave it, the book, to me. So it's not a great example, but it shows how we always tend to simplify things down into object pronouns. Like, for example, I could say, here's another example. I could say, I gave the ring to Maria. I gave it to her. Do you see how I did that? I gave the ring to Maria. I gave it to her. There we go. See, I changed out it, the ring to it, and Maria to her. That's all we're doing right here. That's all we're doing. The main difference, though, you need to remember is that in Spanish, you put these object pronouns before the conjugated verb. You remember that? If you can keep remembering that, it's always going to help you. In English, we do it after, like I gave it to her. But look at this example here. Nos sirven los platos. They serve us the dishes. Nos los sirven. They serve them to us. So that's basically what it's going to be like that. Now, here's the trick, is that whenever you have two, the indirect and direct object pronouns together, the indirect always comes first, then the direct. Think I, D. That's the order, like id. You ever heard of the id in psychology? It's a Freudian term for like the inner sort of baby, the king baby in everybody. And so that's the order, ID, id. First the indirect, then the direct. So it's like, how about this? Maribel te pidió una hamburguesa. She asked you for a hamburger. And then it says, Maribel te la pidió. You see, it's te la pidió. Now, the only tricky bit about it is that down here, if there are two third persons that make it go like le la or les las or something like that, it will always change the first le or les to se. So any double L like la la la, it'll change it to se la or se lo, se las, se los. It sounds fiddly. We'll drill this next week. I promise you I'm going to keep this simple. Because I struggled with this stuff, just like, somebody learning it would. And I can't tell you exactly what the test is going to be like, but there might be some multiple choice in the offing. I'll just put it to you like that. I'm not trying to trick you with this, but just come in with a good attitude, guys. I'll lay it out for you. We'll drill this, and we'll make the best of it. And by the way, that tutorial is going to be is due Friday night, and there's a tutorial on double object pronouns. It'll be helpful. So let's go ahead. Let's push forward. Here now, let's see. Oh, here's the comparisons. So now we see comparisons. I told you comparisons of inequality. It's really just, it's like English. Like I am taller would be yo soy más alto que. Or she is shorter than me. Ella es menos alta que yo. It applies to nouns as well. He has more cars than me. Tiene más coches que yo. So the beauty of this is that it sort of switches out beautifully with the English. It actually does. Now the place where it doesn't, well, the verb is also like he runs more than me. Él corre más que yo. So it really mirrors English a great deal. The comparisons of equality is a little more fiddly. This is the one where we're going to have to practice. Is this difference between tan y tanto. Like, I am as tall as my brother. Yo soy tan alto como mi hermano. See? Now, if it's a noun, I have as many cars as my brother. Tengo tantos coches como mi hermano. Now, this is where the end of this tanto, tantas, tantos, tantas, has to match whatever the noun you're talking about. So I said tantos carros como. So there's that. And then the verb is, I run as much as my brother. Yo corro tanto como mi hermano. See? Now that's it. I know that sounds horrible, but it's really, that's not, and that's going to be it. You know I'm trying to help you guys. So that's pretty much it for the grammar. Superlatives are just very similar, but they just really are the biggest, the smallest, the most extreme. So it's almost like saying, it's the fanciest restaurant in the city. Es el restaurante más elegante de la ciudad. Or the chicken is the most delicious on the menu. Es el más sabroso del menú. Or Charlotte is the largest city in North Carolina. Es la ciudad más grande de Carolina del Norte. You see? That's all. It's like saying the most of something or the least of something. It's not a comparison per se. It's saying it's the most, the least, the oldest, the youngest, etc. Yeah. And then some of these, here's some superlatives that we're aware of. Some of el mejor, the best. El peor, the worst. el mayor or la mayor, the oldest. El or la menor, the youngest. And we tend to recognize a lot of those. And also menor is like a minor. So that's something to kind of help you there. But so that's something we're going to practice. The tutorial is going to connect with all that. So I'm just kind of going through this myself. All right. And that's it for the grammar forms. I know I'm pushing past 15 minutes. I don't want to push my luck on this YouTube video. Let me show you. Let me see. Yeah, here's a cute video. It's a commercial. We'll see if we can watch that. We need to watch one of these. They're kind of quick, but yeah. You know what? I wanted to back up and see. I think I missed the Flash Cultura. Sorry about that. Here it is. Yeah, sorry. Here's the Flash Cultura. I'm planning on watching this, and this is Marta. She's great. She is going to be in Los Angeles, I believe. She's going to go to a couple of restaurants. She's going to go to I believe, a Mexican restaurant, and then she's going to go to a Cuban restaurant after that. Really cool. And she talks to the people in Spanish, but you have context about what she's doing, and it's good. And one of the cool things is she's going to have some, she'll talk about typical Mexican food. She'll talk about typical Caribbean food, like with the rice and frijoles. There's even a reference here to gazpacho español. So gazpacho or gazpacho, it's like a cold soup served in Spain. It's sort of a tomato base with lots of vegetables in it. It's good stuff. Love me some good gazpacho. So let's see, that's it. And then of course, you know that you guys are aware as anybody that our vocabulary is on that last page. And that's a good context for everybody. So I'm going to sign off there, guys. Let me turn this thing around. Sorry to make you, I'm going to not get too close to my face. But definitely now really use those tutorials. Maybe you've already watched them, but remember that those grammar tutorials are a tool for you to use from VHL. And it's like somebody, think about it, it's somebody explaining everything exactly in your native language. So it's a beautiful tool. They're actually excellent. And don't forget, you might forget, but I'm one of your greatest resources. I mean, my job is to help you, and I really will help you. But I'm not going to force my help on you. I mean, if you reach out to me, I'll do what I can to help you. I mean, I want to help you. So don't forget to email me. Otherwise, hope you guys are doing all right. We got some ice coming. We'll see what that's all about. Hopefully we don't lose our power. But wish you guys all the best. So I'm going to turn this back around. There it is, la comida. So definitely be studying that vocabulary and getting oriented with those grammar forms. And I will see you in class.